Welcome to the Quiet Power Podcast. I appreciate everyone that's been supporting. Let's continue to like, share, and subscribe. The newsletter is also available. Today, we're going to be talking about the man you keep postponing. You already know who you're supposed to be. That's the part nobody says out loud. We talk about finding ourselves like it's a search, like the person is somewhere out there, buried under the right experience or the right relationship or the right amount of money. But you've always known the man you're becoming. You've had that feeling of him for years. You've seen him in moments of clarity, in the quiet after everyone goes to sleep, in that brief window on a Sunday morning before the noise starts back up. You know who he is. You just haven't decided to be him yet. And today I want to talk about that gap, not the distance between where you are or where you want to be. I want to talk about why the gap exists at all. Because the reason isn't what you think it is. Most people think the gap is about capability. They think when I have more knowledge, more resources, more proof that I can do this, then I'll step into it. Then I'll be ready. Then I'll start living like the person I know I'm supposed to be. That story sounds reasonable. It even sounds humble, like you're just being responsible, like you're not rushing. But here's what the story is actually doing, it's making the becoming conditional. It says, I will be that man once something outside of me confirms that I should be. Once the circumstances catch up, once I have enough evidence, once life gives me permission. And that condition will never be met, not because you aren't capable, you are, but because the confirmation you're waiting for doesn't come before the change. It comes after. That's not how it works. That's never how it's worked. The version of you that you're waiting to become, he doesn't arrive through preparation. He arrives through decision. And you haven't made that decision yet. Let me be more specific because I don't want to let you off the hook with being general. You know the areas, you already know them. The place where you keep saying soon, the relationship with yourself that you keep promising to have, the discipline you keep starting on, the work you keep saying you'll do seriously once things calm down, the version of your mind you only visit occasionally, the calm one, the clear one, the one that doesn't react. You know that version and you treat it like a guest instead of the owner. That's a specific thing I'm talking about. You're treating the truest version of yourself like a visitor in your own life. Here's what I've come to understand about this personally. The man you keep postponing isn't ahead of you. He exists right now, fully formed, in the only place anything real ever exists, inside you, that discernment. He's not waiting for your circumstances to change. He's waiting for your assumption about yourself to change. And the reason most people never close the gap isn't that they don't want to. Most people want it genuinely. They're not lazy, they're not weak. They just never stop needing the world to confirm what they haven't yet confirmed for themselves. Think about the last time you felt like him, that version of you. When did you feel like the person you know you're capable of being? It wasn't when everything was going right. It was in a specific moment, maybe under pressure, maybe in a moment of genuine honesty with somebody, maybe alone in a decision you made that nobody saw, where you chose the harder thing and didn't tell anyone about it. That moment was pretty real. That wasn't a performance, that was you. But then the moment passed, and instead of treating it as evidence, instead of saying, that is who I am, you filed it away as an exception, a good day, a fluke, something that happened rather than something you are. That's the move that keeps the gap open. Every time you treat the highest version of yourself as the exception and the compromised version as the rule, you reset the distance. You start that clock over. You make yourself a stranger to your own best moments. This may be uncomfortable. The postponing isn't accidental. At some level, staying in the gap is serving you. It's protecting you from something. Maybe the weight of actually being who you say you want to be. Because as long as you haven't fully committed, you haven't fully failed either. There's safety in the in between. There's comfort in the someday, right? Someday you'll live intentionally. Someday you'll stop reacting and start creating. Someday you'll deal with the thing you've been circling for 3 years. Someday is not a time. Someday is a way of thinking and keeping the door open without walking through it. But eventually, here's what changes things. Not the decision to work harder, not a new system or a new routine. Yeah, those things do matter. What changes everything is the moment you stop treating who you're becoming as a future event and start treating it as a present fact. Not pretending, not performing, not walking around lying to yourself about where you are. I'm not talking about delusion. I'm talking about a deeper kind of honesty. The honesty to say, I know what I am underneath all of this. I know what I'm capable of. And I'm going to stop living below that understanding. There's a difference between a man who wants to be disciplined and a man who is disciplined. Between a man who wants to be present and a man who is present. The gap between those two isn't capability, it isn't time, it's the assumption they're operating from at the start of every single day. One man wakes up and thinks, I'm trying to become something. The other man wakes up and thinks, I know what I am, let me act from that. The second man is not more talented. He is not more blessed. He made one decision the first man hasn't made yet. He decided that who he is at his best is not an exception, it is the standard. He lives from there, not perfectly, not without falling short, but he always returns to the same starting point, the same assumption, the same interior address. That right there is available to you right now. Not after the next chapter, not when things settle, right now. So I'll leave you with one question. This isn't a task, it's not a framework, just a question to carry with you today. If you already are who you're trying to become, if the truest version of you isn't ahead of you, but inside you right now, what would you do differently in the next 24 hours? Not someday, not after, tomorrow morning. What changes? Until next time. If you like this episode, share, subscribe, share it with all your people. Quiet Power Podcast, the newsletter is available as well. And I'll be back next week.